candidates have pulled numbers. We've done this in the fairest way possible. They've each pulled a number to determine the order that they will speak tonight. They will be allowed to make opening remarks. They will be each asked 5 predetermined questions that they've had for several weeks, and then they'll be taking questions from the audience. At the end of this, they'll be making a closing statement, and then we will have some candidates for the city council race come up and just give a brief statement as well. I think we have some incumbents that may want to thank the crowd for no opposition also. So, without further ado, we would like to go ahead and open things up, and the number one speaker that pulled the number 1 was Mr. Paul D'Aquila. So we'll ask Paul to come on up.
Thank you all for coming. I think on the opening statement, I think everybody just wants to know why I decided to run. And it's a quick story, but it's a relevant story, and it's the only story I have for you. The reason why I wanted to run. I had a good friend of mine in college. He came down, he's from New York. He came down, Jewish guy. His grandfather was an old guy. I took him, he became friends with me. We started hunting together. He enjoyed that, he enjoyed the hunting. We started going out, started hanging out together. Well, one day he told me, he never had a car. These guys up north, they never have cars. He asked me, he said, would you please take me to see my grandfather in New Orleans? I said, absolutely. So he dropped to see his grandfather. His grandfather's an old Jewish guy. He's in his 90s. We spoke and spoke. We got to be very good friends. One day I sat down with him, and he was a very wealthy man. He was a billionaire. And I asked him, I said, Mr. John, I said, how does one reach this height? And he says, Paul, you're asking the wrong questions. He said, I've made a lot of money. He said, there's nothing on this earth that I cannot do that I want to. He said, if I wanted to buy the Saints, I could buy the Saints. If I wanted to do anything, he said, I bought jets, I bought everything. He said, that's not important in life. He said, the one thing you do if you have a chance is help people. He said, help people. He said, never take a job. The 2 words of advice he gave me, never take a job for the money and always help as many people as you can. I'm here to help. I'm here to unify. I know we have problems. We have drainage problems. We have crime problems. We have money problems. I'm just here to help everybody. Thank y'all.
And our Mayor, Robert Meyer, drew number 2. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank y'all for coming out and being here. I'm running, I guess, because I got work to continue to do. We've started a long process of recovery from corruption and from bad financial decisions, and we've made significant strides in that, and that's why I'm running for re-election. I'm running for re-election because we have got a new feeling about our city and about our community. We feel when I go, what's the time limit? 3 minutes. Okay. When I go other places, all over the state, people ask about what's going on in New Roads. Well, I can tell you what's going on in New Roads. The Harvest Festival, the best new festival in the state, as stated by Louisiana Association of Fairs and Festivals, brings $500,000 of economic impact to our city and costs the city zero because the money is all given by generous people who believe in our system. We have unified this city. We have people, black, white, rich, poor, old, all over the parish, down in our city streets for three days at that Harvest Festival. We built a brand new stadium that's state of the art. That PC Rec plays 30 ball games there a year. Catholic plays 5, and some other teams play whatever. We've been a part of an atmosphere that has allowed 400 jobs to come to this town. And it's a great day in New Roads today. 9 o'clock this morning, we had a groundbreaking for the expansion of Pointe-Coupee General Hospital. And I'll tell you, 5 years ago, most people thought New Roads was going to dry up. Why? Because the Audubon Bridge was coming, and everybody was going to want to go to St. Francisville because they had better schools, they had better roads, they had better. But you know what? They don't have the attitudes of the people of New Roads. They don't have the heart of the people of New Roads. And what we've been able to do is bring our people together, with jobs, with infrastructure, with the things that's necessary to move us forward. Thank you all so much.
And I'd like to introduce Mr. Cornell Dukes.
I'm running, and I'm running for one reason only. It's to save the city of New Road. 4 years ago, this city was on track to be one of the most prosperous little cities in the state of Louisiana. We had a Walmart that was getting ready to locate here. It was on its way to locate here. It's been locating here since 2005. We were going to enjoy the benefits of a sales tax without having to increase any expenditures to get that revenue. They'd already said they were coming. And when Walmart comes, we all know, if you have any economical background, Super Walmart brings little shops with it. Anywhere you go, if you see a Super Walmart, you see little Cato's. You see other little shops beside it. Because Walmart has a feasibility study that is second to none in the state, none in the country, that when it comes, it brings other little shops along with it. I'm a resident who's lived here all of his life. I'm a business owner who's been in business here for over 18 years, putting food on people's tables, local people's tables. I believe in community. I believe in unity. I believe that this community comes together to make it better. You do not build a city by dismantling a parish. That's not what we do here. I believe in upholding the ethical values of the state. When I'm mayor, you will never see a worker doing something for me on city time. I will not allow it. It's not ethical, and I will not allow it to happen. And I believe in transparency. No one should have to go through hurdles to get things from City Hall. When anyone wants to request something from that office, they're going to be able to get it. They're not going to have to go through attorneys or anyone else. It's there, it's yours. I'm here to make the city of New Roads a better place for everyone.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll now go to the prepared questions. Call Mr. DeQuella back up, please. What elements of your background make you a good candidate for mayor and why?
When I was in college at LSU, I worked for one of the most powerful senators, 60 Rayburn, for 10 or 12 years. He was a great, great man. And as all of y'all know, these old senators get in there, they don't do much. Pages do everything. We write the legislation, we vote on the legislation. I know the political process. I know how, but you also have to understand, we're not past the legislation as big as that. We're here to address utility bills. We're here to address drainage. We're here to address the police department. I have a background in insurance. One of the main factors of your homeowner's insurance is the fire department rating. I work with the fire department to keep the ratings as good as possible so your insurance rates stay as low as possible. That's it.
We'll do all 5 in a row.
Okay.
All right. How can you improve the city over the actions of the current administration?
The best way I can do it, like Mr. Dukes pointed out, is unity. You create a synergy between the mayor's office, the sheriff's office, the police jury. How you feel about these people personally is totally relevant. You have to work with them for this city to operate, for this city to grow. So just promote unity and work with all the other branches.
What do you see as the top 3 challenges for the city of New Roads, and how do you plan to address them?
Crime, drainage, and utility rates. Crime, we need better equipment, better training for our officers, more police cars, we need more cops. We need a better police presence. We need police on every road, whether it's Main Street, whether it's Martin Drive, whether it's Joyce Street, whether it's anywhere in this city, we need more cops. The drainage problems is not something that was just created. This goes back for years. If you go down West End after a good rain, that water's backing up from the railroad tracks. If you go down Martin Drive, it's a lake in the back. There's a huge drop, and it's just, these things have been going on for years. This is not the current administration didn't do any of this. This is going back for years, but it's time that this needs to be addressed. utility rates. Mayor Meyer, by way of being mayor, he's on the LEPA board. You need to attend meetings from these LEPA, on these LEPA meetings. From the information I got, he hadn't attended a meeting yet. It's been 4 years. This is the number one, I've gone door to door, I've talked to thousands of people. This is the number one question. Attend the LEPA meetings, find out if there's anything we can do, or search for alternatives. We have to look elsewhere if our utility bills are $300, $400, $500, $600, people are showing me. And that's it.
All right. Oh, hang on. Come on. Name one, if any, of the major decisions made by the city council in the past 3 years on which you would have voted differently from the majority, and why.
This was a tough one. The best one that I came up with, besides, can I give two? First of all, Mr. Young. Give Mr. Young his permit, let him pick it 2 days, he goes away. We don't have to worry about him anymore. Just, if you avoid the problem, it's just gonna grow and grow and grow. Number two is suing the police jury over this millage. The parish-wide mills is 3.4. New Roads has been paying 1.7, Livonia has been paying 1.7. The mayor said we maintain our own roads. We go to court, he sues the police jury, Judge Best says the city does not meet the two requirements that it takes. So they roll the millage forward to 3.4 mills. He appeals the decision because he says it's taxation without representation, which I understand what you're saying, but 2 years prior, you rode the city's millage from 3.5 to 3.9, and that doesn't have a homestead exemption, so everybody pays when you do that. So you're suing on one hand, but you're doing the exact same thing that you're suing them for. So.
And I'd like to ask all the candidates to please address the audience and the public. Tonight is a forum, it is not a debate.
Okay.
So please address us. Thank you. What would you do to improve cooperation between the city and its other governmental partners in this parish?
Attend police jury meetings, meet with jurors personally, one-on-one regularly, meet with the sheriff regularly, attend meetings with the sheriff weekly. If there's not a synergy, if there's not a unity, this city does not function. I know there's a lot of problems on the jury, but we need the jury more than the jury needs us. The city of New Roads is in the parish of Point Coupee. Point Coupee Parish can help New Roads more than New Roads can help Point Coupee Parish. That's it.
Thank you. Next up, we'll have Mayor Robert Meyer.
Okay,
You ready?
you asking the questions? All right.
How do you see the city of New Roads' role in the overall operation of Point Coupee Parish?
Well, you know, as the parish seat, our role is very, very important. Mostly, just like you find in other parish seats in county seats across America, we have an opportunity to be the beacon, the shining light for Point Coupee Parish, which we are. We are that with a farming community. That's why we reached out. When we wanted to have a festival, we said it was going to call it the Harvest Festival. We brought the farming community in. But we have an obligation to fiscal responsibility. I agree with Mr. D'Aquila. Absolutely. Unfortunately, he's wrong. You know, I inherited a budget that was $1.4 million in the red. I have turned that budget around at the same time while making significant infrastructure improvements in our city. We have spent nearly $2 million on drainage and infrastructure, things that needed to happen in this city. And you know, I go every time that there's more than an inch of rain, and I go in Martin and King subdivision. I go in subdivision, major subdivision. I've unplugged drains myself that 4 years ago I had to do that I don't have to do now, because we've invested significantly into drainage and infrastructure, and we continue to do so. The city of New Roads will continue to, I want to clear something up too. You know, we do a lot of business together with the parish, and it goes mostly smoothly. There's sometimes that we can't do business when it doesn't go that way, and that's and it is my obligation to protect the citizens of New Roads from those things that are not good. So that's the role, and now I'll continue that role.
Thank you. Question 2, what is the city's employment policy regarding the hiring of temporary employees versus full-time employees?
You know, it's really the same policy of any successful business that it would follow. In fact, it's no different from the principle or policies of any real city. You know, we strive to make decisions that are smart for people. We try to make decisions that are timely, whatever it takes to specifically do the job. You know, with employment, we do. In 2010, the payroll that I inherited was $1.9 million. That was our payroll. No, our current payroll is $1.3 million. We've had to make significant cuts in order to meet our obligations, but at the same time, our city is cleaner. We enjoy more services. We have more parks to maintain. We have more activities for our children. We do more with less because I have the greatest employees in the world. And I'm gonna tell you, my employees and Mr. Dukes can go around sneaking by my employees, taking their pictures all he wants to in the mill, anywhere they want to, because we don't have to worry about this foolishness at the city because the city employees do their job and they do it right. And so now by taking a look at I want to talk about this a little bit more. We became more efficient, like I said. In regards to temp employees, you know, as I said, our budget was $1.3 million. We spent $17,000 on temp employees. That's 1% of our total budget. So I don't think we use too many temp employees. You know, and I tell you what, I wish we could use more because most of the temporary employees we hire are from right here in this parish.
Very good. Okay, question 3. What has been the biggest challenge you faced in your current term?
To be honest with you, I don't think I've had any challenges. You know? I set out from day one to create a climate in New Roads where businesses would want to be. Okay, if you look at the studies, Walmart does bring additional revenue